scandal is far worse than was expected after Bondi revealed on Wednesday that there are 250 victims whose identities she needs to protect. We have to be patient when you're dealing with victims, Abba told Morgan. After Epstein's death in August of 19, many felt justice would not be brought to the victims of his organized sex trafficking operation, and that the identity of his co-conspirators will forever remain a government secret. But Trump issued an executive order last month directing Bondi to release previously classified records, including the Epstein files and documents on the assassination of JFK, RFK, and MLK Jr.
So we got Charles. He finally made it on, CF time.
Yeah, I had to. I was having computer problems.
Oh no, you good? We good. We already said, you come when you come. We ain't even sweating it.
Play his intro.
Switching on deck.
You gonna play his intro? All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God, who made that intro?
Some black dude named
I
Charlie.
know.
Dude, some black people with good hair, man.
Yeah.
So
Coming on deck.
now y'all can hear. So I sent. What's up? No news. Oh, got blood boiling. He done popped in. Are you? Oh, you just simulcast?
Yeah.
Simulcast. All right. What's going on, everybody? So, did you get a chance? You and Lewis, did y'all get a chance to take a look at who is left? Nobody?
No.
Oh, okay. I see what happened. Did y'all get a chance to take a look at your email?
With the Epstein files?
Jesus freaking Christ, man. I'm trying to be discreet.
Oh, my bad.
The
I didn't get it.
what's the code word? The E-Man's files.
Did you get a chance to take a look?
I couldn't. I was so busy today. So tell me about it because I could pretty much summarize that it was.
I'm not telling anything. I'm just asking if y'all got a chance to take a look.
Not yet, but I will.
Because based on what they sent out, it is completely different from what has been out there for years. It's been out there for years, but a lot of people never said anything and probably still aren't saying anything because, the situation at the White House, especially in the FBI and the DOJ, is still in turmoil. You got FBI agents that are threatening to turn over state secrets to Russia if they get fired.
So they're blackmailing the government. Okay, that's great.
Yeah, I mean they're literally
Sure, it always works.
committing treason. So things are still up in the air. It's best to be careful. But the way I see it is if they actually do what they say that they're going to do, and they actually do release unredacted versions of it, there's going to be and I keep joking about this. They're going to be calling Russell Simmons to see if they can book space in his hotel. There's going to be self deletions, and there's going to be people copping pleas. What y'all think?
There's going to be people going to places where there's no expedition.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say this, right? Remember about a year ago And I can say this because, the election's over. Remember a year ago where there was a lot of naysayers and ne'er-do-wells who thought that we were insane? I thought that we were insane when we said there's a reason why y'all don't want Trump back in office. Especially with his last term that he could be president, where he has literally nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when the guy you try to I'm not going to say the word, the opposite of resuscitate. You didn't think he wasn't going to have an axe to grind. I mean, he looks like Conan the Barbarian at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And what these pundits don't really comprehend very well is that we've seen in 30 days the true power of a president, have we not?
Yeah.
It's pretty damn powerful, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
And it's no different. I don't know if y'all talked about the Zelensky. I'm gonna do one tomorrow for my show.
Yeah, we did. We spent a good 30 minutes on it.
Well, I'm just gonna say this. How do you go to somebody's house asking for food, money, supplies, and living quarters, but show your entire donkey out there?
Well, Ed said that he was like a black chick.
He was he was an devout member of the black female stuffery class.
I would say the low IQ class.
Oh yes. And what he didn't realize is that you do realize the kind of guys JD Vance and Donald Trump are. They're no nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to placate. They're going to tell you, look, we're not here for your proxy war anymore. You're costing lives of millions of people across the globe. Stop. Well, I'm trying to, and when she's, I'm pretty sure AB saw some of it on my Facebook. Everybody's so devout. Oh, we got to be pro-American and we got to support our allies. But then you got to realize, how many of our allies truly supported us?
Mm-hmm.
They treated us like the rich aunt or uncle and can't wait till we kick the bucket so they can get some money or beg for some money when they mess up their college fund you set for them. And it reminds me of the same thing. You didn't think that this wasn't gonna come bite you back in the as the British call it, the bun. There's a reason why I call Trump Genghis Khan. You must have committed great sins against God for him to send a punishment like me. I am literally the wrath of God.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what people don't understand and don't get, is that all this is, he's coming like a wrath of God. He's taking the firstborns, he's taking everything. And I've never seen one individual decimate an entire political party in one fell swoop.
One political party.
Mind if I interject? The way I see it, what I think is going to happen, I think that Trump is going to use the Epstein files as well as the as far as Doge to decimate the Democratic Party. And if he has to cut off a Republican head or two, quote, figuratively, I don't want people, I'm reporting to the FBI. If he has to cut off a Republican head or two figuratively, that's what's going to happen. But I think that 100% the Democratic Party is in its sniper sights, and by the time it's over, that is, if he survives, by the time it's over, the Democratic Party will have a whole different look. They'll have a whole new format of leadership. Everything, they're going to be cleaned out. You got Pritzker on The View talking reckless. All right. You got Chuck Schumer talking reckless. I mean, you've got, of course, Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders talking reckless. You see Nancy Pelosi. She hasn't been in the country. We haven't heard a word from her ever since she went to Europe, around the second week of January, had a mysterious accident, and then the next day, hip surgery that put her out of the country or put her out of commission for 9 months. It's been they're fighting for their lives. If Jasmine Ratchet Crockett and Ilhan Omar and AOC and the Presley chick, if this is what they call their voice of leadership right now, because they are the most outspoken right now, they're in trouble. They're in trouble.
And look at ghetto ass Jasmine Crockett. The ultimate hood chick with a voice. This reminds me of one of my favorite Bible verses, maybe my most favorite. Psalms 110 verse 1. And the Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstools. And right now, there's a lot of footstools there's a lot of people resting their corns and calluses upon. And once again, I say this to not only the black community, but also black politicians, black pundits. You have no idea what true power is. But sadly, you're about to find out very soon, very up close.
When they say that they can take you out with a stroke of their pen, the pen is mightier than the sword, you about to find out. You about to find out. There's an over-under who's going to go, who's next. I mean, Joy Reid's not really anybody, she did that to herself, but the over-under between who's next is Ilhan Omar has a bigger shot than AOC of going down because of her,
just her mouth alone.
Well, yeah, plus the immigration crime that she committed with her fruit booty brother. But I think between AOC, I'll put it like this. I think AOC is, after Ilhan, I think AOC is the next target because of her treasonous acts concerning immigration, and then Jasmine Crockett.
See,
I think that's going to be the order. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
See, what you see is this is literally Rap's anger. All these women in power don't understand when you take off a man who has true power. And Jasmine is going about it like she's in the hood somewhere. I could just run my mouth and nobody gonna check me, boo. People don't understand. People like Vance and Trump, or Trump and Vance, to say it in the proper respects to their offices, they play slow, long-term burning games. Death by 1,000 cuts, if you will. And if you're not smart enough to know that's a figurative term, then go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand that. What's the old saying? When Mark Grayson and Nolan Grayson went up against the Grand Region Drag. At first, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. And this is going to look like an episode of Invincible, where Mark takes a big L. Yeah, that's going to be Halloween's new motto this year: trick or treason. I really think it's like your britches are getting too big, son. I mean, it's gonna be on some battle beast level. It's not gonna be cute. It's not gonna be cute. Yeah, I know we're not on that BFF time, but guess who's gonna suffer the most because of people like Jasmine Crockett? You're not
Jasmine.
getting. She's gonna bring down a whole demographic with her, and people are getting sick of these issues, right? You're looking at them swing the pendulum back. Nobody cares if you're straight, gay, transgender, male, female, black, white. You would have to get it in blood, and I mean, nobody's gonna help you anymore. Nobody feels sorry for you anymore. You wanted true equality? Well, here it is. What's the old saying, fellas? Be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it.
Charles came with that Scream One voice.
I look at it like this, because when Ed was here, he was talking about it. Like, I'm looking at let's seriously talk about the Jasmine Crockett situation, because we're right now we're in free talk, right? We're in free talk. The way I look at it is that Jasmine Crockett is trying to appeal to the low IQ black people who are hung up on race relations, and she's using it in a time and era where do understand white folks are not thinking about us right now. Trump is trying to get the illegals out, the criminal illegals, so that way they won't be able to commit terrorist acts on American soil. That's the way he looks at them. That's what they said. That's what he said they are. Even Tom Homan said it. Like, these dudes are terrorists. They're illegals. They have no power here. They're terrorists. We will not be the EU. Once you get illegal immigration under control, that's when through local government, they're going to start locking up all of the criminal blacks. I hate to say it like that, like I'm separate, but I mean, that is what it is. They're going to start locking up all these criminal blacks. And unfortunately, for a lot of single mothers, it's going to be their children that are going to be seeing the insides of prison cells, be it youth detention centers or actual prisons. Personally, I think I said this in 23, if not 24. If you're under 18, I'm sending you to military camp. You're gonna do your time, be it in ROTC or in the military, be it 2 years, 4 years, 8 years, whatever prison sentence you may have for all of the criminal infractions that you racked up during the Biden administration. Remember when I was saying the last thing you want to be is in front of a judge come this year. Yeah, because once they start cracking down on these governors and mayors and start cleaning them out, especially those, like you see what's going on with Maine, where the governor with her, she's gay, talking about I'm still going to let biological men be around women, even though women are saying we don't want them around us. People like her, Pritzker, Gavin Newsom, your boy Scott, Brandon Johnson, etc. They're going to be looking at criminal charges simply based on the money. Yeah, the district attorney's right. I mean, look at what happened to Shane Tao out in Oakland. Y'all familiar with that?
No.
She got indicted. They made her step down. She had to resign. She got indicted for taking bribes from an Asian company that deals with trash. All right. So she got indicted. You're going to see a lot of that going on. Once, I know I'm broken recording this. Yeah, the Maine governor is a lesbian. I know I keep saying this, but once Kash Patel gets his team together, that's when the investigations are going to start. Right now, in all honesty, let's be honest, this Epstein list, with all the redactions and everything or whatnot, I know the media is trying to play it like, Pam Bondi's fumbling the ball or whatnot. Like, no. This is chess, not checkers. To borrow from that hobo with the bandos. But this is chess, not checkers. You're going to see who's going to start making moves now that there is some form of list that's out there showing that they don't have that they're not bluffing. This is why you turn that list over to podcasters, because now you've got the court of public opinion breathing down your neck. Right?
Oh yeah.
Charles?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when the real list, because I do understand she's got an uncensored version. Let's not be crazy. Doesn't matter what the FBI call themselves doing. Not everybody in the FBI is a traitor to the American government. They have the real files. They have the real files. So it's just a matter of time. But once Patel get his team together and they start their investigations, you're going to see a lot of governors, mayors, district attorneys, etc. They're all of a sudden going to start getting cuffs placed on them for misappropriation of funds and other crazy things. But they're definitely going to get them on the money. And then once they get down, you start talking to deputy mayors and other people who are ready to start turn state's evidence. Maybe they have a little dirt on them, but they want to play Eric Adams. You're going to see a lot of Eric Adams going on across, the United States, where the Democrats will be playing ball with the Republicans. They're going to be they're going to get rid of that freaking that defund the police BS laws, those garbage laws. They're going to start prosecuting people. They're going to start calling people in for their court dates, even if they had to hunt you down. The police force, they're going to be hiring like crazy. You sent me that. Remember you sent me that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll need to do a story on that. They're going to be hunting people down like crazy. They are not going to be playing around in the country. You can clearly see that Trump is all about securing the insides of this country, because if we fail, nobody is coming over here to save us. Y'all were talking about that.
We talked about that many times. There's a reason why guys like Hegseth. Did you see what Hegseth was doing the other day? In the snow, running with soldiers.
Showing strength and leadership. That's chess, not checkers.
And it's a photo op. Of course it is. But it's a hell of a photo op. When did you see a Secretary of Defense run with troops?
When's the last time you seen what is RFK?
Food and Drug Administration.
Right. When's the last time you seen one of them with their shirt off?
I mean, think about it. RFK is damn near 70 doing pull-ups on Muscle Beach.
Like they're trying to.
But guess who was the Food and Drug Administrator? Guess who was the Food and Drug Administrator before
that
him?
fat trans bastard looking weird as hell. Looking like that weird uncle that you hope they don't show up to the picnic.
Basically, Uncle Fester and Drag.
Yeah. Like, get the hell out of here. So, yeah, you're looking at them locking down this country, cleaning up crime, cleaning up drugs, cleaning up the streets, and securing the border. It's going to happen. And if you're not a criminal POS, you shouldn't really have anything to worry about. But watch, when they start getting towards cleaning up American streets, especially in urban areas, because you know that's what the Democratic media is going to focus on. They're going to call it racism. Oh, here it comes. They're going to throw us in chains now. This is what we were talking about. Watch.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the problem. If you notice one thing, hard-nosed cops like myself, they're trying to get rid of. Either make you retire or make you resign. Because you got to think, the first time in, 20 years, but right before the riots, the year before the riots, for the first time in 20 years, we had the homicide rate of Baltimore under 175.
A year?
In 1 year.
That's not bad.
It's usually 3 something. And after the riots, it exploded once again. You're telling me people like Brandon Scott are the answer? You have to go back into what the old Law 101 says about jail and prison. Number 1, it's a deterrent. Number 2, it's a punishment. Number 3, it's a rehabilitation. Nobody's afraid of it. People will be afraid of it if you go by federal rules. 80% of your time is going to be served.
Plus, you need to take the TVs and the phones out.
You got to eat.
And get the women up out of there.
The correctional.
Having sex in cells. What are you doing?
I remember when I was delivering a warrant one time at Central Bookings, and this chick tried to get smart, who was a correctional officer, and she was with her captain. And I embarrassed her. She said, well, the police need to stop committing crimes. And I said, y'all need to stop screwing the inmates. And he just laughed at her. The whole room just laughed at her idiocy because they didn't think I was going to come back that quick. And I just looked at her. I said, well, oh, was it something I said? I hope it stings and I hope it hurts. You better pray that a person like me never gets into a political office. You better pray that I'm never mayor of Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
If it was, I will annex this place. First and foremost, you want to get a job, young black men? Every time you see a vacant, you're going to learn the true tools of the trade, how to fix it from the ground up. You're going to be so competitive that I'm going to literally make Baltimore look like Metropolis within 4 years. Well, what about the girls? They're good. There's no reason you have the number 1 hospital in the country with all this crime. One of the biggest researchers on the planet. There's no reason you should have, within Baltimore, you have 2 major HBCUs. You have the best hospital, and damn near an Ivy League college, Johns Hopkins. You have Loyola, Villa Julie. You have all UMBC. You have all these colleges surrounding. and we don't have any of our people there, something's got to give. Well, we got to do something about the crime. It's called putting the responsibility back in the parents and holding them accountable.
What's going on with your boy out there that was trying to do that?
Which one?
Dag, the one with the curly hair, kind of light skinned. He was trying to hold the parents accountable for underage for juvenile crime.
Oh, you talking about Ivan? You talking about Ivan Bates, the state's attorney?
Yeah, Ivan Bates. What's going on with that?
I'll give him credit. He's been a lot more effective than Marilyn Mosby, for damn sure. They're getting there, and see, people always say the police don't do their. Well, the police don't do their jobs. Yes, we do. We arrest them. Just because we arrest somebody, it's up to the state's attorney to keep them there. People, and I'm going to tell people, y'all need to really go back into civics, because if you get your information from MSNBC and CNN, you're going to end up being a lot dumber than what you began. Because first and foremost, the people you should hammer, forget the mayor, look at your state's attorney. Look at your state's attorney. Marilyn Mosby, before and during her term of being state's attorney for Baltimore City, has not tried a Part 1 crime, which means major crime, in her career. What happens when you get somebody who's not afraid?
They do whatever.
And that's the part where a lot of black people are going to get shook. What happens when you got a person? What is the old saying? This looks like a job for Superman while he's taking his clothes off in the phone booth or the broom closet. Once he takes the disguise of Clark Kent off, he's all business. Here's the thing about police and blood boiling. Policing is cultural. And I try to say that to my godson. Policing is cultural. When he showed me a film of a white guy who was a Iraq war veteran and he had a rifle on his, I said, city cops and county cops are not the same type of cops. Your first 6 months, you probably dealt with, let's say you're in Baltimore City. The first 6 months of your career, probably even in field training, you probably drew your weapon. There are some people who haven't drew their weapon in 10 years. Or drawn. And I was in field training on a foot chase and the guy was turning. And I drew down on him. And that's like my first 2 weeks in field training before my graduation. So you have to look at it, right? It's all cultural. For example, why is that white cop going to have more time with that white guy in Iowa or Montana with a gun in his hand? Because the culture's different. They know that everybody's raised with a shotgun in the rack. You're not raised the same way in Baltimore, Philly, New York City, or LA. So the culture's different, so they're going to have more leniency towards that. When you see a guy with an AK or an AR or AR pistol in the streets of Baltimore, and I'm pretty sure everybody's seen the video where he got lit the hell up. Because those officers had nothing. If he would have started rocking and rolling with that AR, I think it was an AR pistol, they had nothing in their vicinity that could combat that. So when you look at things like the Duluth model and other things, policing's number one cultural. Just like if I took a guy from Iowa and put him in 33rd Fremont or York and Woodlawn, or I put him over there in Norfolk, Pensy, he's going to get shook. It's just like, Lewis will tell you, not all Marines are created equal, just like not all soldiers. There's guys, even though you're all supposed to be riflemen, everybody wants to go kill a commie for mommy and kill an Iraqi for daddy. But when the time comes, everybody's going to take the safest. 99% of people are going to take the safest route. So when you look at things like that, you have to look at the culture. People don't take in consideration Baltimore is still roughly 60% black. 70, excuse me. So who am I going to interact with most of the time? It's going to be almost every time a black person. I didn't even know we had white people in Baltimore until I was like a damn teenager. That's how black it was at some points. So the interaction and the culture of things where you're used to this demographic having a gun because you grew up with a gun. Hell, you seen in the Midwest and then down south, you'll see teenagers driving trucks and they got a shotgun in the rack because they just, as soon as they leave school or right before school, they went hunting. You're not going to do that in urban environments. Am I talking too much? Anybody want to get in?
No, you good. We listening.
Yeah.
So when you always look at law enforcement, it's a cultural thing, and that's what everybody doesn't want to say. Well, if that was me, I would have got shot. Maybe, maybe not. That's what my godson tried to tell me because he was black. I said, maybe, maybe not. Look at where he's from. Find out where the video's from. And I bet you they used to. They gave him leeway. Me being a city cop, I would have shot him as soon as he tried to pick up his drink. I can't see where his hands are going. Pow, pow, pow. It would have been like a
justified.
It would have been like a sexy red record. Bow, 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 bow. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And when you look at these things, when people say, "Well, the police are racist," yeah, there are some racists. It's not the total sum. There are some.
Mhm.
But here's the question that nobody ever asked. What would you do if you were in that situation where a white or black guy sitting on his porch with a rifle in his hand? He gets up, the rifle's 2 to 3 feet away from him. He goes leaning back to grab a drink. Do you know if he's grabbing that rifle or not? And then on top of that, he says he's not going to leave the house. The only way he's going to leave the house is suicide by cop. What are you going to do? Especially when he reaches back.
I'm popping him.
You reach back. I don't care if you got a drink, if you're getting your drink or not. I can't see your hands. You're a threat. You're a danger. I got to preserve life. And sometimes, not sometimes. All the time, it has to be my life first. Because if I'm down and I'm incapacitated, guess who has a free gun that's clean with 42 rounds? And how much time, if I'm incapacitated, he's going to take that gun and use it against me. FBI statistics, 85% suspect gets your gun, he's going to use it against you.
I'm laughing at Juice. He's like, call for backup. Like you're going to say, wait, hold on. Before you reach, let me call for backup. And he's going to go, okay. Then when they show up, that's when he reach.
You got to do it like a game of It's Times.
Time out.
And I tell people, y'all need to, I'm going to ask everybody to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Brandon Tatum. Go to Sean Ryan. Go to a lot of these people and ask if they can interview me. Wouldn't that be exciting to get one of the boys from the Manosphere to get interviewed? I'm pretty sure Tatum would take me. We don't even have to talk about our disagreements. And
I'd rather see you on Sean Ryan.
I'd rather be on Sean Ryan myself because there's some things I could catch Tatum on, but believe it or not, there's some things I would agree with him with. Not everything. I don't believe in the coonery, but I would tell him, let's be honest. What's up, Art? Your style? And
I think Sean Ryan would more so let you tell your story, your background, and then he would go into like certain questions, whatnot, like especially with you going from the public sector to the private sector.
And he's pro veteran, him being a Navy SEAL and all, and even he has some gripes against the way the government's been handling things. And I would tell him, I said, think about it. A buddy of mine who's just in transportation enforcement, not a cop, he's getting screwed with his schedule. His wife, because he's been married for a year, he has 2 young children with him and his wife. His wife works in DC. He's the closest. His mom passed, his dad passed, and they weren't sugar honey iced tea anyway. His words, not mine. He doesn't have the support group, and then you got to pray that one of the boys are free and available to help him out if he needs it very badly. So think about it. You've overworked your staff with your police. DEI promoted a lot of people who should never have gotten stripes or bars. And you let the idiots run the asylum. I'll give you a quick example of what I mean by DEI in the police department. It was one guy. He didn't spend 4 to 5 months on the street when he graduated the academy. Somehow, some way, he ended up in community relations. There should be no goddamn way in hell that you should be in community relations with only 4 months on the street. He gets enough time, rub elbows with people, learn what to study. He gets promoted to sergeant. Oh yeah, by the way, this guy who got promoted to sergeant, he left his service pistol in a bag in the roll call room for 3 hours. Say it with me, folks. Wow.
I think about yeah. I'm like, are you serious?
As serious as 9/11. As serious as 9/11.
It's baffling.
And it's baffling. That's not all. I'm like the OxyClean man. Wait, there's more. He becomes a sergeant, I believe, in the Northeast, which is the largest district in Baltimore City and one of the busiest. He's a sergeant, and he gets to University of Maryland. He has a shooting victim, and the guy who drove him there, he literally allowed the guy to drive the car to go to 7-Eleven and come back.
That's like taking the Burger King.
I wish upon a star. Why are people like that even promoted? You want to talk about DEI? You got people who become sergeants and their parents are majors and lieutenant colonels. You got people who become sergeants. Remember, this is not a merit-based promotion. It's a multiple question test, and you go in front of the Sanhedrin of 3, and don't think that if somebody higher up likes you, they're not going to put your name out there for all the people who were look at the oral exam, listening to you. And I'm not saying that everybody who gets promoted is a DEI, but there's a lot of them lately. You literally had a test thrown out because somebody gave the MFer the answer key. So everybody who did well the first time had to take it again. And guess, people like me, when I had my ankle and foot surgery, I got screwed because my test got thrown out.
Because of one. Okay. All right.
So when you talk about these things, these are the people who are getting in positions of power within your police departments who were vastly incompetent and negligent, and you wonder why crime persists the way that it does. But once you get a hard charging person who's squared away, knows what they're doing, everybody's going to complain about them.
Mm-hmm.
Charles,
Yes.
I hate to cut it short, but we're on 3 hours.
I was done at that point.
Oh, okay, it's fine. I mean, I could sit here and let you talk all day, but I'm
I know.
long, and we're at the 3 hour mark. So
Ready to
let's do closing statements. Red.
Be good to others, but first and foremost, be good to yourself.
Yep.
Amen.
AB.
Thanks for having me up. Keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. I'm out.
Charles.
Woo! And that's it.
I would say, of course, I didn't do a show yesterday because I was tired. But tomorrow I will at 9 o'clock. We will go over Trump's press conference dealing with Putin and Macron. Mainly Macron. We'll go over that because Macron interrupted Trump on some things. They had a little tit for tat. So I'll cover that tomorrow at 9. We'll have some fun with that. And of course, you know how Trump is. Something else is going to jump off. 3 big things are going to jump off before 4 p.m. tomorrow. So some things might get pushed to the side. We'll see. But we're just playing it by ear with this guy's presidency. But outside of that, I guess I'll catch y'all later. See y'all tomorrow.
Peace.